We're here with Middle Georgia's favorite NASCAR driver, David Ragan from nearby Unadilla, Georgia. And you had some excitement a couple weeks ago. Have you had a chance to really calm down and think about the magnitude of what happened?
You know, you realize it the following week and the following week or two, and it's certainly a big deal. We're still pumped up, but at the same time, this NASCAR world, you have to go back racing so fast, you don't really get a chance to let it soak in. But I think, you know, in our situation, winning that race, it was a big confidence boost for everyone on our team. It was big for our program in general to take that next step forward to being more competitive on a consistent basis. You know, our relationship with Ford Motor Company, our sponsors, it was a big win. So the All-Star Race Week kind of soaks in a little bit more. You're locked in. You don't have to race your way in. But I think we'll even enjoy this thing, you know, from a year from now, it'll still be a big win.
Going back to the shops the day after that win, I know you had a ton of interviews. You took your time with us at 41 NBC. We appreciate that. But that had to have been a pleasure to go back to the shops that day.
You know, we have about 50 or 60 employees that are full-time, and they're all working on our race cars. They have something to do with each and every car that goes out of that shop. Some of these big teams, there's employees that are working in a little small room or a cubicle, and they don't even see the race car, much less touch the race car and have something to do with it. So it was very, very gratifying to see those guys. That was a big deal. Some of them were young kids that had never been to Victory Lane. Some were old school veterans that had been to Victory Lane years ago. So it was a big win. It was a very popular win for everyone, and a 1-2 finish doesn't get much better than having both front row cars 1-2.
For you, when did you finally get to catch your breath? I saw a tweet from your wife who said she didn't get to see you but an hour or two until like a week later.
Yeah, probably that Thursday evening driving to Darlington was the first time that I got a chance to just spend a little bit of time with Jacqueline and around home. I was, you know, at the race shop all day Monday, having, you know, a lot of interviews with ESPN and SportsCenter and Speed Channel. And then Tuesday I was back in Georgia doing an event for some friends of ours in Sandersville for the NEFCure Foundation. And then back in Charlotte to do another event with the NASCAR Foundation and Bobby Labonte, his golf tournament on that Wednesday. So a lot of stuff was going on, but it was fun. I mean, it's fun to be busy for a good reason like that.
Have you had a chance to think about not just Front Row Motorsports, but the impact that your win had on small teams all over NASCAR?
You know, I think the Generation 6 car has been a help to these smaller teams. Gave us a chance to really go through our whole inventory this off-season. And the cars are a little more simpler. You know, eliminating the rear sway bar package was a big plus. But I think you look at, you know, what Kurt Busch has been able to do in that Furniture Row car, you know, ourselves, the Wood Brothers. There are some smaller teams that have had some glimpses of wins or big races, and I think that you know, that win, you just look and it's so important that it gives these smaller organizations some confidence to keep working hard. You're never going to have 43 Hendrick Motorsports. You know, you're always going to have some teams that have a slight edge over others, but it was big to give us confidence to keep digging and working hard.
Has anybody brought up to you the fact that a number 34 car had not won since Wendell Scott, which is another historic moment in NASCAR?
Yeah, a few people have said that. You know, the 34 car had been around in, you know, different divisions and have won some. But yeah, that was neat. I mean, that's cool to throw our name in the hat for, you know, for wins in that 34 car.
All right, Middle Georgia, I'm sure I could hear it all over my neighborhood. People were screaming that day when you crossed the finish line. At what point did you realize you finally had won that race?
You know, right when you cross the start-finish line is certainly a breath of fresh air. You feel like you've got it done. You want to make sure that you took the checkered flag and not the white flag. That has been done before, but you know, you enjoy it. You realize that you've done a big thing, and probably what made me more happy was knowing that David finished second and we had a 1-2 sweep.
Okay. Appreciate it. David Ragan, driver of the number 34 Front Row Motorsports Ford.